京都競馬場第9競走は特別の1つ目、矢車賞です。芝コース 1800m、 牝馬限定3歳500万以下のメンバー9頭によって争われます。エーシンクローバー9番ゲート収まります。スタートしました。さあ9頭先行争い、まず好スタートを見せたのはブルーミンですが、徐々に最内1番のドローアカードが前に上がっていきます。さらにはレイザーベール、さらに外からはエーシンクローバーと仕事を固まって、さあ周回コースへと入りました。この周回コースへ入ったところでわずかに7番レイザーベールが先手を奪うか、しかし譲りません。外8番のブルーミンです。そして1馬身後方ですが、9番エーシンクローバー3番手、2馬身開いてゼッケン1番ドローアカード4番手、4馬身馬群開いて4番のサツキユニバース、その後に5番ディアドラ、ちょうど中段の位置。3馬身開きました。3番ウェーベルロール、外からの半分差6番コロナシオン、2馬身差最高峰笠松からの参戦2番のアンティクイーンという体勢です。やや小頭数ですが縦長の展開、3コーナーのその周り坂を駆け上がっていきます。7番のレイザーベールのペース、リードは4分の3馬身となって2番手ですが、8番のブルーミンがつけています。3コーナー坂の下り残り800を通過、 1000m は1分0秒9で通過しています。3番手の位置に内1番のドローアカード、外9番ネーシンクローバー、差がなく並んで先団4頭ほぼ固まっています。その後の集団5番手以降の集団に外わずかに5番のディアドラ、首を覗かせ始めてじわじわとさあ位置を上げていこうとしています。後方から3番のルエベルロール、さあ第4コーナーカーブから直線コースへと向かいました。レイザーベールが現在先頭です。そしてブルーミン、そして外に持ち出した5番のディアドラが一気にここで先頭に立つ。ディアドラが先頭に立つ。さらに外に持ち出しているのは3番ルエベルロール。3番手から2番手に上がろうとしている間、食い下がっているのは1番のドローアカード。さあ先頭は5番のディアドラ、先頭だ2番手1番ドローアカード頑張っている。先頭は5番のディアドラ合輪、2着1番ドローアカード、3番手争いですが内から差を詰めたコロナシオン
に促されてサロニカが収まってゲートイン完了。スタートしました。まず先行争い、内から2番ブラックオニキス、外は13番ミッシングリンク、スーッと前へ。ミッシングリンク先頭に立って、9番プリンセスルーラー、6番ジッパーレーン、2番手3番手4番手14番ナムラ紫、11番カリビアンゴールド5番手につけました。その後17番シーズララバイ、12番のマナローラが追走しています。16番ディアドラは中段のやや後ろ馬群の外目を追走して18頭1コーナーをカーブです。13番ミッシングリンクが引っ張ります。リードは1馬身半12コーナー中間、9番プリンセスルーラーが2番手、3番手内6番ジッパーレーン、外14番ナムラ紫が上がっていきます。5番手控えた11番カリビアンゴールド、まもなく向こう上面並んで17番のシーズララバイです。間が12番のマナローラ、向こう上面に入っています。その後中段やや前に18番のサロニカ、内2番ブラックオニキス、直後7番のポールバンドル、5番笑っちゃうよね。ここは先頭までは10馬身、中段やや後ろ16番のディアドラが追走しています。動いていきました。10番のシンボリジュネス3コーナー手前、あとは15番のルボワールが追走で、後方4頭目3番ライジングリーズン、あと8番の鳳凰パフューム、後方3頭目の外目、インコースは4番のガジュマル、最後方1番のフレスコパスト。馬群凝縮してきて3コーナーのカーブへと入ります。わずかに13番ミッシングリンク先頭ですが、2番手からプリンセスルーラー差を詰めて3、4コーナー中間、3番手がナムラ紫、シーズララバイ4番手、前4頭やや抜けて、5番手グループが6番のジッパーレーン、あるいはカリビアンゴールド、そして押して上がっていく18番のサロニカ、一番外からは16番のディアドラです。4コーナーカーブから直線を向いて、先頭ミッシングリンクに接近するシーズララバイ2頭に、さらにはカリビアンゴールドを追ってきた。外からはポールバンドル、200を切って大外16番のディアドラが伸びてくる。残り150で先頭11番のカリビアンゴールド、外から16番のディアドラ、間は7番のポールバンドル、3頭広がった。前は並んでゴールイン。16番ディアドラ、11番カリビアンゴールド、7番ポールバンドル、この3頭が10月15日秋華賞への優先出走権を獲得。さあ勝って秋華賞に向かうのはこの3頭のうちどの馬でしょうか。外16番ディアドラ、内11番カリビアンゴールド、間7番のポールバンドル、3頭広がってのゴールでした。18番ゲートへ誘導されて収まって18頭ゲートに揃いました。スタートしました。 揃いました。ファンディーナ好スタートを切りました。先行争いはまず8番川北演歌飛び出します。2番手外から16番ファンディーナ追っていきます。1番アエロリット3番手、5番ブラックスビーチ、12番レーヌミノル4、5番手、その後10番タガノベローナが続いて、内は4番のモズカッチャン好位を取りました。6番の名将オワラ、そして2番ラビットランも今日は前回よりは早め、18頭1コーナーをカーブします。先手は8番の川北演歌、リード1馬身半2馬身で2コーナーカーブ。2番手外目が16番ファンディーナ、1番アエロリットはインコース3番手2コーナーカーブ。4番手5番のブラックスビーチ、5番手インコース4番モズカッチャン、並んで12番桜花賞馬レーヌミノルです。向こう正面に入りました。6番名将オワラ、10番のタガノベローナが外を追走、内が2番のラビットランです。残り1200を切りました。中段から後ろ2馬身差、7番のリスグラシュー、11番のミリッサ追走で向こう正面の中ほどへと向かっていきます。あとは後方18番カリビアンゴールド、3番のブラックオニキスが追走、 1000m59秒1で追走しています。ポールバンドルもこの番組の中にいます。14番ディアドラは現在後方から4番手から上がっていきます。後ろ3頭は9番ハローユニコーンが追走、13番リカビトス後方2番手、15番ブゼットジョリー最後方で3、4コーナー中間点へと向かいます。先頭は8番川北演歌、やや引き離してリードは2馬身です。600を切って4コーナーのカーブに向かいます。2番手がアエロリット、3番手がファンディーナ、4コーナーのカーブ、内からブラックスビーチ、外へ持ち出してモズカッチャンが3番手から2番手早めに先頭へと並びかけていきます。さらには追い上げていった外から7番のリスグラシューです。4コーナーカーブから直線コースを向いて、さあ今度は4番のモズカッチャンが先頭に変わるか、内は川北演歌、間1番のアエロリット3頭に、外から7番のリスグラシュー、連れて2番のラビットラン、14番のディアドラも追い上げて残り150、先頭4番モズカッチャン、追ってきた7番リスグラシュー、14番のディアドラ、14番のディアドラが一気に差し切った。ディアドラが降臨、最後の一冠を取ったのは14番のディアドラです。見事に差し切りました。クリストフ・ルメール騎手、14番ディアドラ、じっくりと力をつけて桜花賞オークスと着順を上げてきて、そして前走初重賞制覇、勢いそのままに G1 秋華賞で G1 タイトルを獲得しました14番ディアドラです。2着争いが4番モズカッチャンか7番リスグラシューか、その後に2番のラビットラン4着、8番川北演歌が続いています。勝ちタイムは2分0秒2、上がりタイムゴールまでの 800m49 秒1、 600m は37秒0でした。14番のディアドラです。2着争いどうでしょうか。7番リスグラッシュー、そして4番のモズカッチャン。桜花賞の2着馬とオークスの2着馬がまたここでも秋華賞で2着を争うという結果になりました。2着争い、今写真判定が行われると場内発表がありました。1着
Starter Shane Ryan waits. Gates are back, they're racing in the Dubai turf, and they're going straight back to the rear is Blair House. Away quickly, Krokosmir, also Janubi, and Ben Battle boxed away beautifully. It's up on the outside, and Neo Realism just getting a little bit keen over on the fence. Championship now goes forward from Promising Run. They were followed by Monarchs Glen and Water Creek going through on the fence. Then came Real Steel, Trey Fleur. Next of all, as they run down the back, is Lancaster Bomber. Over on the inside, Blair House, followed by Deirdre Vivlos. And back to the tail of proceedings is Lashlar. They run their way down the back straight, and the front runner is Janubi for South Africa. Janubi's out by a length over Ben Battle, sitting in the breeze second. Championship over on its inside. They were followed by Neo Realism, Promising Runner. Krokosmir caught out wide as they leave the back straight. Next of all, Monarchs Glen down on the fence. Water Creek on the fence, at least, as Monarchs Glen made ground around the outside of Real Steel. They were followed back in the field by Blair House. Next of all, then is Trey Fleur with Deirdre. Next of all, Vivlos. Well back was Lancaster Bomber, and back at the tail is Lashlar. They come to the top of the straight. They're about to turn in, and Janubi slipped away. They go to the 500 metres, and Janubi's out by 4 lengths over Ben Battle in second, followed by Championship Crocosmere. Down the outside, Real Steel, followed then by Monarchs Glen beginning to get warm. Promising run between them. Near Realism needs room, and right down the outside is Vivlos. Going to the front, Ben Battle as they go to the 250. Deirdre and Vivlos. Real Steel charge after Ben Battle. Ben Battle's out by 3 lengths. Vivlos is down the outside. Ben Battle well clear of Vivlos. This is a rising star, Ben Battle. Ben Battle's going to bolt in the Dubai turf. It's Ben Battle by 4 lengths over Vivlos, Real Steel and Deirdre. They will follow close up by Promising Run. Next to come in is Lashlar, Crocosmere. Then came Neo Realism. Next across the line is Blair House, followed by War Decree, Lancaster Bomber. Janubi got tied.
最後11番エテルナミノル、スムーズに入って全馬ゲートの中、体勢完了。スタートしました。おっと10番のハッピーユニバンス後方から、他はまずさあ先行争い4番鼓門がスーッと出ていきます。外から7番 TS クライを押して迫っていって、間からは6番リバティハイツ、その内から2番のソウルスターリング、2馬身相手3番当選ビクトリー、各馬1コーナーのカーブです。前は2頭並んできました。4番の鼓門の外から7番 TS クライ、やはり行きました。花を取り切って2馬身リードを広げます。その後ろ3番手の位置に2番のソウルスターリングがつけて、1馬身6番リバティハイツ、半馬身外には11番エテルナミノル向こう上面です。内から接近1番アグレアーブル、3番の当選ビクトリー、外並んで1馬身5番フロンティアクイーン、それに内から接近8番のアンドリエッテ、それから2馬身9番ディアドラ、最高峰3馬身10番のハッピーユニバンスという体型。向こう上面の中間を過ぎて3コーナーに向かいます。7番 TS クライ先頭3馬身のリード800を通過、59秒で通過しました。その後ろは2番手に4番の鼓門が続きます。1馬身差、3番手に2番のソウルスターリング、外から11番エテルナミノルがじわっと接近して、さらには6番リバティハーツもそれに接近して3、4コーナー中間へ。その後ろからは1馬身差、3番の当選ビクトリー、さらに外から5番のフロンティアクイーンが押し上げて、第4コーナー残り400を通過、4番鼓門が先頭に立ちました。2番のソウルスターリング、その後ろには6番のリバティハイツ、さらに外からエテルナミノル直線コースに入りました。1番外から9番のディアドラの追い込み、あと200を切って先頭2番のソウルスターリング、外から9番ディアドラ捉えた。3番手には3番の当選ビクトリー、2番手に並んで、さらにフロンティアクイーン、2番手接戦、ディアドラゴールイン。入りました。体勢完了。スタートしました。綺麗に揃いました。10番リスグラ周後方から、さあ先行争いです。まだ固まっていますが、1番のクロコスミア、外からスーッと9番の川北演歌、花に立っていきます。2コーナーカーブ、リードを1馬身2馬身と広げます。向こう上面に入って2番手1番クロコスミア、1馬身半差5番の今日はゼノビア、内は3番のソウルスターリング、2頭が並んでいます。1馬身半空いて、その後ろ6番ジュール・ポレールが外目、内から2番のフロンティアクイーンが並んでいます。2頭の後ろは2馬身7番メイズ・オブ・オナー、1馬身外10番のリスグラシュがじわっと差を詰めて、後方3番手11番のミス・パンテール、4番ディアドラが後方2番手、最後方8番のアドマイヤ・リード、3コーナーのカーブ残り 1000m を通過、9番の川北演歌先頭です。7馬身8馬身とリードをつけて3、4コーナー中間へ。2番手には1番のクロコスミア、それから2馬身5番の今日はズノビア、内は3番のソウルスターリング、2頭の後ろは2馬身差、6番のジュール・ポレールが上がってきます。半馬身1馬身、内は2番のフロンティアクイーン、10番リスグラシュが続いて7番メイズ・オブ・オナー、その後ろに4番ディアドラ、先頭はすでに600を通過して4コーナーをカーブ直線へ。川北演歌先頭です。10馬身リードを保っている。2番手には1番のクロコスミア、外からジュール・ポレールが上がってきた。残り400を通過、間今日はズノビア、内に入ったのはソウルスターリング、外からフロンティアクイーンと、さらに外が10番のリスグラシュ、さあ先頭リードはぐんぐんなくなって、9番川北演歌3馬身200を切って、外から6番のジュール・ポレール差を詰める。さらにはフロンティアクイーンとリスグラシュが追い込んできた。さあ先頭はリスグラシュ、フロンティアクイーン、おーっと4番のディアドラとリスグラシュ、ディアドラがゴールイン並んでいます。
In Hong Kong Cup 2018. Gates are open, they're off, and Stormy Antarctic slow. Glorious Forever pinged out, so did Time Warp, and the brothers eyeball each other very quickly. Glorious Forever's got good speed, and he's going to charge through. Time Warp's not going to press the issue. Purton's happy to sit there at present. 2 lengths further back, Northern Superstar has dropped into third as Time Warp drops onto the back of Little Brother, heading by the 1,600 metres. They're well strung out at this point. Sungrazer under a good hold from Moreira, but he's 7 to 8 from the lead. 2 further back to Deirdre. On the inside of Seasons Bloom, who's the first facing the breeze, 1 off the fence, and he's 4th last on the outside of Stefanos Gold Mount, and Stormy Antarctic last of all. Glorious Forever trucking along on the lead, 1,200 metres out. He's 2.5 clear from Time Warp sitting in second. 3 further back, Northern Superstar. 3 further back to Sungrazer. 2 further back to Deirdre. The first 5 in Indian file. Then Stefanos on the inside of Seasons Bloom. Gold Mount. Stormy Antarctic is a dozen off the pace. Being set by Glorious Forever. 2 lengths now on Time Warp as they sweep down by the 800 in the Cup. 2 lengths to Northern Superstar. Sungrazer. Moreira hasn't flinched a muscle at this stage. Likewise, Lemaire on Deirdre. Then Seasons Bloom, Stefanos in his 5th run here at Sha-Tin. 3rd last from Gold Mount, and Stormy Antarctic has everything to do. Glorious Forever, 500 metres out, still coasting along. Time Warp creeping closer. Northern Superstars in their trail. Sungrazer and Deirdre get to the outside. Glorious Forever's got a strong kick. Time Warp's within a half. Now a neck, almost on terms. They're clear from Northern Superstar. Sungrazer and Deirdre winding up late. Glorious Forever fends off his brother. It's like an old backyard stoush between Glorious Forever and Time Warp. Deirdre late, Glorious Forever. What a day for Frankie. Farnos is at the rear. Glorious Forever. All the way. Silvestre de Souza, who took Happy Valley by storm on Wednesday night by winning the Longines International Jockeys Championship, has rated Glorious Forever to absolute perfection. Deirdre, what a sweetheart she is. She's pinched second from Time Warp looking at Shutter Cam. Sungrazer 4th, 8, 9, 2.
Ryan heads off to position, waiting for Wootton to go into the barriers. Now they're set. Ready. Gates are back and they're racing in the Dubai Turf. I Can Fly was the last to leave. Southern Legend away quickly over on the inside of Almond Eye, and Dream Castle driving through. Century Dream goes up on the outside. Without Parole and Wootton are going to go forward as well, and now Mountain Hunter with the red cap is driving up there. Lemaire just took a hold with Almond Eye to drop back into around about 7th position. Vivlos over on the inside. Lord Glitters next from Majestic Mambro. Then came Deirdre. A length and a half to I Can Fly, and back at the tail is Yulong Prince. Down the back they go. 24.47 was the lead, and Century Dream takes over and races out by 3 lengths. At Century Dream over Without Parole. Dream Castle down on the inside. Wootton out 3 wide. Between horses is Mountain Hunter. 2 lengths away in the field then to Almond Eye and Vivlos. Almond Eye is 3 wide. Southern Legends over on the fence, followed then by, as they turn down the side, Lord Glitters, Majestic Mambo. Deirdre is strung up between horses. Next of all then, as they come to the top of the straight, Yulong Prince, and just ahead of it is I Can Fly. Top of the straight they come, and the leader as they turn in is Century Dream. Shows out by a length and a half. Over Without Parole as they turn in. Wootton up on the outside, Dream Castle. Almond Eye with a shadow roll comes out to the middle of the track, and trying to track it is Lord Glitters. They go to the final 300 metres. Century Dream in front, but here she comes. Almond Eye out in the middle. Quickly raced up, went to the front. Running on hard is Vivlos between horses. Almond Eye in front. Vivlos is down the outside with Lord Glitters, but as Almond Eye well clear, Vivlos tries to get there. The Japanese knew it. The world suspected it. Tonight she confirms it. Almond Eye is an equine masterpiece and wins by a length and a half. Second Vivlos, third across the line, Lord Glitters. Next to come in after a gap is Deirdre, followed by Without Parole. Then Century Dream, Southern Legend, Yulong Prince. Behind them was Wooten. Then came Majestic Mambo. Well back in the run was Mountain Hunter. And I Can Fly and Dreamcast were pulled up very quickly.
Starter has them. They're off in the QE2 Cup, and it was a beautiful start. Windbright doesn't muster that quickly, and Donoso's back towards the tail early with Eagle Way. Time Warp wider out. He's thrashing forward, and so too is little brother Glorious Forever down on the rail. Furore's gone forward like he did in the Derby, and he settles in a prominent position, third on the outside of Pakistan Star. 1,600 metres out, Glorious Forever leads by a slender margin over Time Warp, who is pressing the issue. He wants to go on with it. They're two in front of Pakistan Star, settling third as Time Warp now charges to the front, going into the back. Furore settled down fourth. Waikuku's deep. Windbright down on the rail from Dark Dream. He's eminent. Midfield 3 wide. He couldn't get across early. Donoso down on the fence, and then Lee's Grasher. Exultant's back to third last alongside of Deirdre, and Eagle Way is the trailer. Time Warp charging towards the halfway point. He leads by 2 lengths over Glorious Forever second. Pakistan Stars had a lovely run third, likewise Furore fourth. Windbright on the inside of Dark Dream. Waikuku's done it tough. A length and a half to Donoso, who's on the inside of Lee's Grasher. She's got clear galloping room now. Trailed then by the favourite Exultant, followed by Deirdre. Eminence under the stick as they slide down the side at the 600. Passed by Eagle Way. Running to the turn in the FWD QE2 Cup, and the leader Time Warp. Only a neck to Little Bro Bag, which is Glorious Forever. Pakistan Star sweating on a run. He gets the gap. Furore, Dark Dream, then Windbright starting to wind up. Further out, Lee's Grasher and Exultant. Glorious Forever took over from Time Warp. Pakistan Star darting through. Then Windbright, Exultant, Lee's Grasher wider out. Pakistan Star narrowly. Windbright, Glorious Forever. Pakistan Star, Windbright goes to him. Windbright is roaring away. Japan do it again. Windbright from Exultant and Lee's Grasher, who grabs second and third over Pakistan Star and Glorious Forever. Then Deirdre, Dark Dream, Donoso, followed by Furore, who weakened out. Eagle Way, Time Warp dropped out. Waikuku had a torrid run, and Eminent looked beaten a long way out, a long last. It's Windbright from Exultant and Lee's Grasher, Glorious Forever and Pakistan Star. Yoshihiro Hatakeyama, the winning trainer. What a great thrill. His first runner in Hong Kong, the Winco Syndicate.
All in, and they're off for the Prince of Wales' Stakes. Group 1 contest over 1.25 miles. Hunting Horn in the dark blue was one of the first to get away as they make the downhill run towards Swindley Bottom, with Deirdre, the white sleeves, racing handily, and Magical Purple Jacket for Ryan Moore on the inner. Now, Frankie's got Crystal Ocean, Yellow Cap in the leading half of the field and just a length off the pace. Zabil Prince in a spotted jacket tucks away towards the inner as they bear right-handed, shadowed by French Raider Valtgeist in a red jacket, a fairly steady pace. There's a break of a length and a half to Sea of Class, Yellow Silks racing last but one, and Desert Encounter is at the tail of the field. Making the ascent now out of Swindley Bottom inside the final 7 furlongs, and Hunting Horn just lifting the tempo. Moves on by a couple of lengths to Crystal Ocean heading the pursuit. Magical is just a length further back in third. Then there's a break of 2 lengths to Deirdre with the white sleeves wide of Zabil Prince against the running rail. Valtgeist in a red jacket is alongside Desert Encounter, and Sea of Class has dropped to the tail as they pass halfway, and she would be about 8 lengths off the leader Hunting Horn. So heading for the last half mile in the Prince of Wales' Stakes, Hunting Horn leading Crystal Ocean into the turn. They're now 2 lengths ahead of Magical and Ryan Moore Purple Jacket. He's just beginning to squeeze the filly along as they swing back towards the last 3 furlongs. Deirdre with the white face is on the outer of Zabil Prince, followed by Valtgeist, Desert Encounter, ridden along Sea of Class, Yellow Jacket, still sitting at the back of the field. Down the straight they come. Frankie now brings Crystal Ocean down the centre, coming to take on Hunting Horn. They're still over 2 lengths ahead of Magical, who's being driven 7 firmly, Purple Cap by Ryan Moore. The group of 3 up ahead are a little way clear of Voltgeist, Sea of Class on the extreme right. A furlong and a half to go. Crystal Ocean with Magical now switching to come and have a crack at him. They've gone over 2 lengths clear from Hunting Horn. Crystal Ocean in front, passing the furlong. Magical has got within a length. Can she get past Crystal Ocean? Edging right, leaning off a true line. Magical is continuing to pester, but Crystal Ocean is doing enough and takes the Prince of Wales Stakes under Frankie. Magical in second.
And Deirdre. She's big in Japan. Deirdre going forward. Last one for the Qatar Nassau Stakes, Group 1, a mile and a quarter. And they're away, just wonderful, just the slowest to leave the starting stalls. Rawdar looks like being dropped in going forward. Hermosa and Medailly, Frankie Dettori taking on Ryan Moore in the early stages here, and the pace looks brisk. Sun Maiden is third, Nialetti on the outside of Sun Maiden just fourth, followed by Maxad further back from Channel, and then Deirdre, Just Wonderful, and Rawdar, who'd be a good 10 or 12 lengths behind these 2 leaders. Medailly racing very keenly, a little profligate perhaps, a half length to Hermosa in second, 3 or 4 lengths away to Sun Maiden, and then Nialetti on the outside. Channel is back in fifth on the inside of Maxad in the blue and white jacket. Just Wonderful out wide of Deirdre, and 2 lengths last to Rawdar. They climb now, heading past the 6 furlong marker, and Medailly and Frankie Dettori on this magnificent Group 1 roll, leading the way by a length to Hermosa in second place. A length and a half away, Sun Maiden, followed by Nialetti. Channel trying to cut the corner under Pierre-Charles Boudot, followed by Maxad. Deirdre further back, and then Just Wonderful, and still Rawdar looking on. Down the hill to the final right-hander, and it's Medailly. Ryan Moore is nudging away on Hermosa in second place. Sun Maiden, the big filly, is third. Then Nialetti on the outside from Maxad as they run now inside the final 3 furlongs in the Nassau. Is still Frankie on Medailly, chased by Sun Maiden. Hermosa is struggling. Maxad down the outside, Nialetti. Rawdar with a run down the wide outside from the rear of the field, but they've still got to get past Medailly as they race inside the final furlong and a half, and she kicks again. She's gone 3 lengths clear. Here's Rawdar trying to cut her back. So too Deirdre for Japan. The leader wandering off a true line now. Maybe she's running out of steam. Deirdre finishing far side under Oisin Murphy. The Japanese mares beginning to get up, and Deirdre for Japan wins the Nassau. Ran down Medailly, Rawdar third, Sun Maiden and Just Wonderful.
They're off. In the Quipco Irish Champion Stakes, Group 1 over 10 furlongs, and in the early stages, sent on to lead is Hunting Horn, taking up his pace-making duties, followed by Magical as they race the end of the opening stages. They're followed by Eller Cam, Black Cap on the outside. They're tracked down the back straight by the Derby winner Anthony Van Dyke, and just behind them is Magic Wand, and then comes Mad Moon, with towards the rear Deirdre for Japan under last year's winning jockey Oisin Murphy, and bringing up the rear is Headman. They're heading right across from the stand, 7 furlongs to go, and the leader is Hunting Horn and Emmett McNamara, showing a couple of lengths in front of Magical and Ryan Moore, a handy second. And then Eller Cam and Jim Crowley on the outside of Anthony Van Dyke and Wayne Lorden, and Magic Wand in between horses Shamie Heffernan. Mad Moon tracks Chris Hayes, and then Deirdre and Oisin Murphy. Back marker continues, Headman and Jason Watson. They're at the 5. The halfway stage in the Quipco Irish Champion Stakes, and it is Hunting Horn maintaining a lead of a couple of lengths over Magical second. Then Eller Cam just showing third on the outside of Anthony Van Dyke, and then Magic Wand. The final 3 are Mad Moon, Deirdre and Headman. Very tightly grouped with half a mile left to go. Less than 5 lengths covering the 8 as they begin the run back towards home. Hunting Horn with looming up on the outside Magical in the purple and white jacket. Then Eller Cam and Magic Wand and Anthony Van Dyke the rail, followed by Mad Moon, Deirdre, and Headman is beginning to take closer order on the outside. They're into the straight. 2.5 to go. Hunting Horn strongly pressed by Magical. Here she comes in between horses. Eller Cam. Headman is on the outside. side of Mad Moon, then Magic Wand, Anthony Van Dyke and Deirdre racing down to the final furlong. Magic Hill has gone for home and the Quipco Irish champion, chased by Magic Wand, Anthony Van Dyke, headman next with Mad Moon, but it's Magic Hill in front as they run to the finish. It's her stage, the Quipco Irish Champion Stakes, with Magic Wand in between horses, Anthony Van Dyke and Deirdre for the...
And they're off. I Can Fly dwells a little, leaving the starting stalls. Away strongly a day towards the inside. Also Happy Parent, the noseband wider out, getting across now is Regal Reality to grab the overall advantage. Magical is handy in the purple cap towards the outside. Out wide pulling hard is Pondus, just out wide and behind Coronet. And then Adayeb. Deirdre is getting plenty of cover on the inside. And Madayi is weighted with today under restraint running down the hill with on the inside of her I Can Fly. Regal Reality and Jim Crowley by a length to the favourite Magical in second place. Foxtel is third on the inside as they swing Swinley bottom, followed by Adayeb and Deirdre for Japan. Then behind those is Coronet as they now run uphill towards the home turn, a long run to the home turn. Pondus is out wide towards the back, white capped I Can Fly and Madayi still held on to. Regal Reality the inside of Magical as they make their way now towards the 5 furlong marker in the Kipco Champion Stakes. Regal Reality by a length and a half to Magical, a length and a half further back to Foxtel, then Adayeb and Coronet. Pondus on the outside, Deirdre the rail, I Can Fly and Madayi, who'd only be about 7 lengths off the lead entering the final half mile. Regal Reality has led all the way, but they're beginning to queue up to mount challenges, headed by Magical in second place. Adayeb getting closer in the yellow jacket. Foxtel round the inside, then Coronet and Deirdre right round the inner, just shifting off the back of Foxtel now as they swing the corner. Regal Reality, Magical is well poised there in second place. Foxtel, Adayeb, then Deirdre's off the inside now. Coronet, he says go on Magical on the outside of Regal Reality. Foxtel gets up the rail. Magical strikes the front from Foxtel. Here's Adayeb putting in a sterling run out wide. Deirdre's got plenty to find. Magical from Adayeb inside the final furlong. Magical by 3/4 of a length to Adayeb, who's trying hard, then Foxtel, but Magical is tough as they come, and Magical is going to cling on and win the Champion Stakes and a second win on Champions Day. Adayeb in second, tight for third between Foxtel and Deirdre.
Stand by for a start to the roar of the crowd. The gates are open and they're off. And it looked a fairly level line from the machine. Having said that, Young Rascal, he's having to push and shove here to Tory on him to get him going. Away nicely was Exultant. He's staying quite deep. Pressing forward also is Anthony Van Dyke, Southern Legend, and right up on the speed is Aspetar. Also Mount Everest going forward, and Prince of Arran got away beautifully this year. He's going to settle down in behind the speed, running 6th or 7th. Caught a little bit deep now is Young Rascal, but he's at least picked up the bit. Followed by, down on the inside, Glory, VASE and True Self. Then a length to Ho Ho Khan as they head by the 1,800 metres. Then followed by Lucky Lilac. Sumion's left the fence vacant. He's 4th last from Eagle Way. Deirdre's back to 2nd last. And last of all, when they settle down, is Called to the Bar. They're running to the 1,500 metre point, and Purton has taken the favourite Exultant to the lead. And as they head to the back, Exultant striding by 2 lengths. Anthony Van Dyke has settled down second on the outside of Southern Legend. A length and a half to Aspetar's getting a gun run on the outside of Prince of Arran. Mount Everest is caught 3 deep. He's got no cover. He's alongside of Glory, VASE and True Self down on the rail. Lucky Lilac now into a 3 wide trailing position on the outside of Young Rascal. Then a length to Eagle Way, who's inside of Ho Ho Khan. Called to the Bar, 3 deep, trying to improve, and 2 back. It's a patient ride by Murphy on Deirdre. She's last of all as they stride to the 900 metres, and Purton's getting away with cheap sectionals here on Exultant at the 800, leads by a length and a half. Anthony Van Dyke has been stalking him everywhere he goes. Southern Legend, then Aspetar. Prince of Arran's had a lovely run, but he needs an out. Glory, VASE was next. He's about to work into the clear. Mount Everest is under pressure. Then Lucky Lilac, True Self. Followed then by Deirdre, who whips around them with Called to the Bar. They corner in, and Exultant set sail for home. Turned in front with a length advantage. Southern Legend, then Prince of Arran. Glory, VASE is now emerging. Anthony Van Dyke and Lucky Lilac steaming down the middle, along also with Deirdre. Glory Vase raced up to Exultant. Lucky Lilac wider out Deirdre. Glory Vase is powering away for Moreira from Exultant and Lucky Lilac. And it's the Empire that is Japan winning the Vase again. Glory Vase extraordinary. Wins from Lucky Lilac. Loomed up. It's a Quinella for Japan. She's been beaten 3.5.
2100 metres. And they're off and racing. Intelligent was slow away, but not as slow as Port Lions towards the outside. They've both given the leaders a chance. Deirdre jumped well. And just looking across, Oisin Murphy sees For the Top cross over and take the lead. So as they race past the stands, it's For the Top in the black and orange jacket, who has a half-a-length lead over Trey Floors, who sits in second place in the purple and red. In third, the crossbelts of Mount Everest. Deirdre settles back in fourth place on the inside of the blue and white of Royal Yumzane. Little wide on the course, Imogen Roma in the black colours, and with a steady pace, both Intelligent in the nosebands, the purple jacket with the green star, and Port Lions have been able to close. So they're making their way round into the back straight, and the field is led by For the Top as they turn towards the 1400 metre mark. Leads by a length from racing in second place is Trey Floors, as they've got a length between them. In third, Mount Everest, they're tightly bunched in midfield, moving up on the outside, taking closer order in the black colours, Imogen Roma. At this stage, Deirdre's content to track what looks a pretty steady pace in company with Royal Yumzane, and then there's a length back to the last two, Intelligent for Pierre-Charles Boudot, and last of all, Port Lions for Ardre de Vries. So they're making their way inside now, the final 1100 metres, and it's For the Top who shows the way, lobbing along in second, Trey Floor for Billy Lee. Three wide on the outside, Imogen Roma. Deirdre continues to track the leaders on the outside of Mount Everest with Royal Yumzane as they make the turn out of the back straight, and they're entering now the final 700 metres. Pace beginning to pick up. For the Top out in the clear is Trey Flores, and towards the outside, Imogen Roma. Then Mount Everest. Deirdre just looking to try and force a passage between runners at the moment. Oisin Murphy having to push along. Intelligent in the noseband as they begin the turn back towards home. Out in the lead, For the Top has the lead and is first to commit. Deirdre now sees daylight towards the outside, and along with Mount Everest comes in pursuit of the leader. For the Top got a break for Mikel Barcelona. It's 2 lengths. Deirdre getting balanced and now charging at the leader with 200 to travel. Out in the lead, For the Top from the back. Port Lions is finishing off with a mighty charge as well. All out in front For the Top. Port Lions and Deirdre are coming. Port Lions on the outside for Bahrain. Deirdre for Japan. An international history-making finish here in Saudi Arabia. It could be Port Lions has nudged.
They're in the game and they're off in the 2020 Coral-Eclipse. Deirdre towards the outside was away alertly, and so too Japan is contesting the early pace, and now Gayaf now bursts through between them, and he gets the lead he craves, and it is Gayaf who strides on now to a length advantage over Japan, who races in second. A neck away on the outside, Deirdre is in third at the end of the first quarter mile, which sees Enable settled off the speed. She's racing in fourth, and she's currently 4 lengths off the exuberant leader Gayaf as they go midway down the back stretch. Regal Reality has got a couple behind early. Magic Wand at the moment is last but one, and Bangkok at the back of the field as Gayaf and William Buick take them now towards the end of the Sandown back stretch. It is Slipstream is Japan racing in second for Ryan Moore. Deirdre on the outside, Oisin Murphy in third, and Deirdre is being followed by Enable and Frankenatore in fourth as they go into that far turn at halfway in the Coral-Eclipse, and it is Gayaf now by a clear 2.5 lengths. Japan racing in second, and Deirdre a further length and a half back now in third position as Gayaf spins just a little wide. Regal Reality is making ground through on the inside. He's now in fourth. Enable is in fifth, and then Bangkok on the inside of Magic Wand, and the field turns for home. They've got just over 3 furlongs to go in the Coral-Eclipse, and Gayaf is out in front, wearing his heart on his sleeve, and he's out clear by 3. In second, Japan is now being ridden along, and now Enable is urged to try and close by Frankenatore, and she's willingly picking them up now. She's got to within 3 lengths of Gayaf. Japan now in second, Enable is in third. Magic Wand from a long way back takes 4. They're racing now inside the final full and a half. Gayaf is digging in. He leads by 3 parts a length. Japan there in the centre. On the outside is Enable. There's a half furlong to go. Gayaf has the rail to help. He still leads by a length and a half. Enable is running out of time, and it's Gayaf who's going to take the Coral-Eclipse. Gayaf has won the Eclipse. Time second between Enable and Japan. 4 in 4 by
Enable beaten for only the third time in her career. She was second, and Japan back in third place. So a minor upset here has enabled.
Last in for this, the Qatar Nassau Stakes. A mile and a quarter, and away they go. And out of the stalls, where's the pace coming from? Magic Wand broke out fairly well. Nazif is there, One Voice over on the far rail. They're tracked by Fancy Blue. Queen Power getting cover. Out wide is Deirdre, plenty of daylight, and the back marker Lavender's Blue. So Magic Wand it is that goes on into the lead in the hands of Frankie Dettori, followed by Fancy Blue, the French Oaks winner, in second place for Ryan Moore in that orange and blue stripe cap. Then One Voice over on the far running rail, the inside running rail. Deirdre, Nazif getting a bit of cover in the early stages, quite well positioned. A couple of lengths then to Queen Power, and finally Lavender's Blue. Beginning the run uphill now, and still out in front it's Magic Wand, and it looks a pretty steadily run affair. Magic Wand with ears pricked forward from Fancy Blue in second. Deirdre, last year's winner, close up third on the outside under Asheen Murphy. Then on the inside behind these is One Voice, and Nazif is close up to a mile and a quarter for the first time today. Lavender's Blue and Queen Power. Swinging right-handed and beginning the run downhill to the final little right-hander, and Magic Wand dictating the fractions here. Frankie Dettori by a length and a half to Fancy Blue. Deirdre on the outside, One Voice. Magic Wand just beginning to stretch a little. They're followed by Nazif, who's now being pumped along. Followed next by Queen Power and Lavender's Blue. Magic Wand leads the way. Fancy Blue second. Deirdre down the outside. One Voice is locked in behind them as they run on now towards the final quarter mile. Magic Wand being challenged by Fancy Blue and by Deirdre. A line of three. Queen Power out wide. Nazif making slightly heavy weather at the moment. One Voice tries to get on terms. Fancy Blue takes over. Magic Wand is nothing if not game on the far side, but Fancy Blue doing best. Here's One Voice from the back now, charging at Fancy Blue. Fancy Blue on the far side of One Voice. An all-Irish finish. Fancy Blue, nothing if not game, holds on. Fancy Blue, the French Oaks winner, follows up in the Nassau, followed by One Voice. Then Nazif further back and Queen Power.
No one's going to give him any of the breaks here. The Qatar Prix de Triomphe field is rounded off by Way to Paris, 2,400 metres, a mile and a half. And they leave the stalls and the label is out well. Deirdre is one that's slow. Immediately Frankie just grabs hold as Persian King on his outside moves forward. On the rails in swoop Rabiha and also Sotsas are just about line abreast. Frankie trying to drop onto the tail of Persian King, who's taking a while to cross over to the running rail. In swoop on the inside there, and Stradivarius just caught a little bit deep in the early stages with Chachnak, as it takes a couple of furlongs for the field just to steady down into formation. Persian King, Sotsas, and on the outside Chachnak enables Pink Cap, nicely positioned, one off the rails on the outside of In Swoop with Stradivarius in the black colours on the outside. Way to Paris, the grey is on the inside. The noseband belongs to Gold Trip. Rabia is amongst horses, and the last two, Royal Julius and Deirdre, is last of all. So Persian King, Pierre-Charles Boudot, is able to dictate the pace in the early stages of the arc and leads by a length from in second Chachnak in the pink sleeves. Sotsas in the two-tone green is in third. Stradivarius is white-faced on the outside of Enable, who travels comfortably, as indeed they all should at this stage. They don't appear to be going very fast. In Swoop is sixth, then Gold Trip, Rabia and Way to Paris as they make the first of the turns with the Bois de Boulogne behind them. Chachnak and Sotsas. Frankie just begins to edge a little closer on Enable in the pink cap as they race down the full straight with Stradivarius on the outside. In Swoop comes next with Rabiha, then Gold Trip, Way to Paris, still Royal Julius and Deirdre at the back of the field. So it's been a freebie on the lead for Persian King to this point. About to get challenged by Chachnak. Stradivarius and Enable travel strongly. So does Sotsas. 500 metres to travel in the Qatar Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe of 2020. Persian King tries to utilise that turn of foot. Frankie moves out on Enable. Sotsas is there, so Stradivarius, and down the outside Gold Trip. It's now a bun fight as Persian King tries to hold off Sotsas. Then Gold Trip. Enable's only paddling at the moment. Sotsas, Gold Trip on the inside. Persian King
King, and in swoops Whiteface. Sotsas leads for France. From in second in swoop. Behind these in third, it's Persian King. It's Sotsas' arc. From in swoop, Persian King was third. Gold Trip in fourth. Stradivarius and Abel were both outpaced in the straight, and then they were clear of the others. Sotsas brought to the boil on the day. Third last year, Jean-Claude Rouget, and Christian De Muro holds off in sweep, who stayed onto the line. Persian King and Gold Trip, third and fourth in a clean sweep for France. And we roll on, we will find the vanquished. They include Rabiha, and back in sixth place Enable with Stradivarius alongside. Deirdre next, then way to Paris and Royal Julius. They stacked up, it turned into a sprint. Sotsas brought to the boil perfectly after what had been a slightly below par season. Winner of the French Derby and wins the Arc. Enable beaten, not going down without a fight really, but you have to just say thank you for the memories for Enable. 11 Group 1s, 3 King Georges, just the 2 Arcs, but a record to be proud of. But on the day, salute Sotsas.
And a first arc there for Jean-Claude Rouget in the glasses. For the owner, Peter Brandt, a lifelong dream fulfilled. Enable beaten, it got rough in the straight, but there is the hero. Third last year, first this under Christian De Muro. Kevin.
Well, we thought it might get tactical, Ed, and I think it's fair to say it did. They appeared to go quite steadily in front. Sotsas was in a very, quite a handy position behind the leader, Persian King. It got messy here for Enable. It looked like she was going to get a clean passage to the outside, but Gold Trip, I believe it was, on the outside has just come across and edged in. Wasn't the difference between winning and losing for Enable. She just wasn't quite herself today, was she? But Sotsas, as mentioned by Richard Hoyles, Jean-Claude Rouget, this will mean a huge amount to him. His first Arc win in a long, long and highly successful career. He peaked this fella on the day that matters most to these trainers, and he's put up a great performance on the day.
A huge moment for all the connections, particularly the owner, Francesca, back in the day, owning horses like Triptyque. Look at Christian's celebration as well, the trainer on the left there. But for owner Peter Brandt, this is huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is huge. He's kind of had 2 incarnations in the ownership sphere. He's been an incredibly successful man in his business life, but in terms of owning racehorse, he bred and owned Thunder Gulch, and he was also responsible for bringing Mr. Prospector to the stud farm in America. But now he's come back into it later in life. This horse here is a brother to Sister Charlie, who's been a star, a multiple Group 1 winning star over in the US, and to have the brother here winning the Arc on his second attempt. Not many horses get beaten in an Arc and then come back the next year and win it. Valgeist did it last year, but here we've got Sotsas doing it. Got to say, a huge run from In Swoop and also Persian King, the long-time leader.
And Gold Trip. I wonder how Ballydoyle feel watching on after their last run, because In Swoop, as you predicted, Matt, has run a huge race.
Yes, I mean, he's a mud lover, and these kind of conditions form, to a certain extent.
Last one going in. Winners of 77 races between them. 14 stand ready. And that's it, they're away. Racing in the 2020 running of the Bahrain International Trophy. Simsia ridden away from the starting stalls to try and get a good early position, with down on the inside Bangkok right there. Going forward, Cooler Forest from a wide draw. Certain Lad just tucking in behind them, with Dream Castle a little bit deeper out. They're being followed by Lady Wannabe. Next on the inside is What a Welcome. Out 3 deep is Loxley with a white cap. 2 lengths behind those. Towards the rear is Global Giant. Deirdre's nearer last than first with Lord Glitters. And Desert Encounter is last of all. They turn inside the final 1600. Settle down with Cooler Forest. Going on 2 lengths to in second place Simsia. A length and a half to Bangkok in third. 3 parts away Certain Lad fourth. He's racing with Sovereign. Next to Sovereign at this stage in 7th place towards the outside is Loxley, racing in company with Dream Castle. Port Lands buried away with a red and white striped cap just in front of stable companion What a Welcome. 2 lengths to Lady Wannabe. Global Giant is further back as they go into the far turn. Right out towards the back of Deirdre and also Lord Glitters, and Desert Encounter has got around 12 lengths on Cooler Forest, who's going to lead them into the home straight. And neck up up on Sincere on the outside. 6 lengths has opened up to Bangkok Racing in 3rd position. They're followed by Sovereign in 4th. Certain Lad down on the rail in 5. Then on the outside is Loxley, Dreamcastle. Port Lions under pressure. Then Sincere over on the far side with What a Welcome. Coming down towards the final 300. Sincere in front now. He's gone for home from Cooler Forest. Bangkok, Certain Lad. Sovereign is Global Giant right down the outside for Frankie Dettori. But Simseer's clear inside the final 200. Bangkok, Port Lions, Global Giant and Sovereign right down the outside. Simseer's flat out in front. Here's Global Giant, Frankie Dettori. Sovereign between the pair. Simseer held on. Sincere on the far side, just got there from Sovereign, Global Giant, Deirdre Lord Glitters, Port Lions, Loxley and Certain Lad. What a Welcome. And then further back to Dreamcastle, Cooler Forest, Desert Encounter and Lady Wannabe. So here is the result then of the 2020 Bahrain